Okay, I'm working on the this box again. Um, I think I'm gonna put a bunch of videos together and just make one, so you guys are. And I'm not a great editor, so you're gonna get a bunch of duplicates, me saying stuff. Okay, so this is the Macanudo box, and so what I've done is I've stained the neck. I don't stain it back here. I don't really need to. Um, put some tongue oil on it. I use this kind. I just got that at the hardware store. Circa 1850. I don't know if it's good. It's for furniture. Doing furniture. Anyways, I'm about to. I've got the piezo embedded in the hot glue there, ready to go. Now what I gotta do is I want to put the. I'm not gonna put fret markers on the front. I'm just gonna put them on the, on the side. Maybe I should put them on the. I don't know. We'll see. This might end up with them on the front too. I don't know. Anyways, yeah. So we got fret markers on the side. Now the last guitar I made, I had this messed up and I missed. It was funny. I was watching a, a video. I think probably one of Dell's or one of Hot Sauce Guitars. No, it was Dell. It was Dell's. They was talking about um, you know, making sure you double check before you put your markers in, your fret markers, because you can make mistakes. And yeah, while he was saying that, I was making a mistake, and yeah. So, and then somebody played it at a bar, and the guy didn't even notice. He just played. Didn't bother him at all that the markers were not right. I guess he wasn't looking at them. So, anyways, yeah. So I'm gonna put the markers in. So a good way to do that is if you have if you're making your own fretboards, which I do, and this is from CB Giddy. This is their fret template. It's got where the dots go. So I'm just gonna use that to line it up and make sure I got them in the right spot, so I don't have to count, because obviously me counting isn't working. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come here. I'm just gonna mark them first with pencil. So I'll line it up, make sure I got the right scale, because I have on my I use a paint stick from Lowe's. This, the stir stick. It seems to be long enough, at least for most of them. And then I use a 3M spray on the back, like a sticky spray, and then it's basically glued to the stick. And then I use a clear packing tape around it, just so that it's nice and shiny. And that way, when I do my fretboards, I put a little double-sided tape on there, and it sticks. And Bob's your uncle. But anyways, for this, I just got to make sure I'm looking at the right scale. So I have 23 inch scale and 24. So I just got to make sure it's 24, because this one is 24. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna mark the where they go. All right. And then I use my little pokey device, and I'm going to get my eyeballs on my these things so I can actually see. And I want it in the middle. This is just by eye, so this is the better your OCD is, the better your markers are going to be. Nothing like custom made mess ups. That's the best. That's the whole part of this thing. There we go. So I will double check. Again, let's have the scale on the right spot. There we go. Now I'm going to find the right drill bit for this, And eventually I'm going to have, I saw a guy on the internet had it was a tool caddy that he made that had all of his small tools and all of his, all the tools that he needs in this wooden caddy. It was really, really cool. I'm going to build one and maybe I'll have it on the channel. Just because I got so much stuff here, like little scales and all this. Ugh, you can't see it. It's up here, but there's all kinds of stuff. And this little caddy, keep everything organized, and then I'll know which drill bit does everything. Because right now I don't. I have to, and it takes time. Like when you're doing this over and over again. If you don't know what you don't know, I gotta search through this little box of drills to find the right thing. Now I'm gonna put what are they called? What did I call these things? Sorry, tacks. Here we go. I have gold tacks and I have silver tacks. These are going to be silver tacks. And I'm just going to see. Pretty sure this is the right one. Let me do a little test. Got a little block of wood here. I'm just gonna nice. I didn't put this down tight enough. So let's see if I can push this in without too much effort. Yeah, that's the right one. Okay. So in the future, once I have this all set up, my little plan, I won't have to test it. That'll just be the right one. So I'm just going to drill these in. You have to be careful because I've had a couple times now the drill, and it was on the last build as well, the one that I screwed up on. If you don't drill straight down, it can wander. The bit can wander, and it literally came out the front face of the fretboard. And I was just not a very happy camper. So we're going to try to avoid that this time. So I'm just going to... Now this wood is really soft, so hopefully we won't have that happening. I am putting it at a slight angle away from the front of the fretboard. Hopefully that'll help just a little bit. My work was calling me, but I'm off today. The next thing is I do a little countersink. I just use another drill bit, a bigger one that's the size of the head, basically. I need a little bit bigger than that. Again, I'm gonna have this all sorted out with my cool little drill caddy, and there we go. And what I do is I put the drill in reverse. And I just go into the hole and then just with the drill in reverse. Oh, that's not reverse, that's reverse. Just make a small indent there for the tack head. Another thing to use is if you, not everybody has a 3D printer, but I do. My old plastic, my old filament, sometimes it goes bad. It gets too crusty to use, and it makes really good fret marker plastic. I did that on one build not too long ago. You could also use, it's kind of funny, but weed whacker. Weed whacker plastic would work too. Be green though. But I had some old white stuff. Now, where did my fret hammer go? See, if I had my little tool caddy, this wouldn't happen. I wouldn't be hunting around for my hammer. Cray cray. Where did you go, hammer? Hammer time. It's hammer time. And I have no hammer. All right, just a sec. I'm going to pause this and go find my hammer. There we go. Okay. Found my hammer. It was on the bench over there where it should be, but just something was sitting on it. Again, if I had my tool caddy. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Perfect. Perfect. So, I don't know if you need to do that little step, but I don't know. I had one guitar where I didn't put these, like, inset them. It was fine. Like, it didn't bother me, like, feeling them or whatever. It's almost like might be a good thing that you can feel them, you know, where you're at with by feeling them instead of having to see them. Oops. Come on. Look at that, kids. Look at that. I didn't have to do one out this far, but... Alright, that's there. Should I put them on the front? I don't want to go through here again like I did last time. Let me see if I got some here. Those are not the right ones. This one's going to the States. Maybe I should put some Robertson screws just to let them know that it's a Canadian-built machine. Oh, those are Phillips. Do you guys know about Robertson screws? The far superior fastener. It's with a square. The screw head square, and way less strippy than a Phillips is. Anyway, okay, so I think that's that for that one. I'm gonna put the tuners in. I'm gonna do the corners for the box. I have to make a bridge. And the tailpiece, I gotta figure the tailpiece out. I don't know if I'm gonna use this puppy or a one of these hinges. I think this hinge is a little too wide anyway, so I don't know if that's gonna work. It's not gonna work. I don't know why I got a 2-inch hinge. It should be a 1.5 inch. Okay, all right. So that's that. I'm gonna go do a little bit more, and I will be back. I'm just gonna pause it. Okay, I'm just putting these tuning heads in from these are from Vezdez. They're similar to, it's an eBay store that's in Canada, and if you want good quality parts for not a lot of money, check it out. Bezdez. It's on eBay. I do ebay.ca, but I think you just do ebay.com and it connects, whatever. But anyways, yeah, and with our exchange rate right now, I mean, probably be a heck of a deal for my American friends. So check it out. Apparently, most of their stuff goes to the States anyway. So that's their big customer there. I wonder if we're gonna have a tariff, 25% tariff on guitar parts coming up. So, anyways, what I do is when I drill my for the tuners, I try to drill and leave just a little. Like when I pick the drill bit size, I just have a little bit of teeth showing when I put it through. Like when you put the drill in front. But I also do this little trick so you don't snap the screw off if you did it too tight. This is just an old candle, one of my wife's old autumn chai, and it's really good because it's got a lot of some of the waxes, like those little tea candle ones or whatever, the little tiny guys. I find them too dry, but this has like a lot of oil in it, and so it makes it nice for this purpose. It's kind of greasy, I guess, greasy wax. So anyways, we're gonna I put a little dab. I just take the screw and I kind of like scratch the wax, and then it just makes it easier to go in. Like I was having trouble getting this one in. That's why I stopped the video to say, hey, I should show you guys a little trick. Anyways, so yeah, so it goes in a lot nicer. There you go. You can just wipe off if there's any excess wax here, like that. Boom. And then you don't end up snapping, because these screws are cheap, eh? Like that come with tuners. They're crappy. Let's face it. And yeah, so they can break easy. So I just put the one in. And put this other one in. Oh, and I obviously I use a piece of tape as a guide so I don't go too deep and go right through my headstock. Grab another one. Kind of squish it on there. Squish it on the on the threads. Yeah, I'm supposed to be at work today, so work day, but I took a vacation day. My wife's, she's a teacher, and they have a PA day, and she was able to somehow take a vacation day too. Oh no, it wasn't a PA day; it was a report card day, and she's actually an EA, she's a qualified school teacher, but she's doing an educational assistant job. So she was able to take the day off. So we're gonna go visit my son, and then go out to the farm later today. So okay, oops. So there's one tuner in. I'm gonna put the other ones in, and yeah, I got the side. Did I show you all these? Yeah, I got those in. When you're putting these little these buttons in, the normal size for the CB Giddy ones and these Bezdez ones is a 1/4 inch. So you drill a 1/4 inch right through, and then you use if you're using these little, what are they called, grommets or whatever, or inserts, they're 5/16. So you take a 5/16 drill, you got to put it on your drill press, and you got to set it to a 1/4 inch, because if you don't, she's gonna rip through. It's gonna go, and yeah, believe me, I've done it. Okay, so anyway, so those are done. I gotta put those two in, and yeah, and then what else I'm gonna do? Oh, I gotta make a bridge for it, like I said, and the tailpiece. Those are the two last things, and then this thing. Oh, also I need to notch right here. I can show you how to do that. There's all these little jobs you gotta do, these little things. So basically you go to the center. I'm gonna just go by eye, and then what you do is you find the center. So I put a little mark where I put a piece of tape here. I mark the center. Oh, it's pretty close to center, I would say. And then you get you do a 1/2 inch on either side of that, and that's where your other string goes. So this is 1/2 inch. So right here, and then 1/2 inch this way. And that pretty much does it. Now, if I'm doing a 4-string, I have this other tool. I love. My dad was a tool maker, and as you've heard probably in my videos, and his motto is, "If you need a tool, buy it." That he's always been that way. When he was still around for Christmas and stuff, that's what I got. I got tools like, if I don't know if you've seen all my power tools that are on this bench. I think he probably bought them all for me, like for over a few Christmases and birthdays and stuff. And most of it's like the brand Delta. I don't know why, but it's mostly Delta. Yeah, so I think most of that stuff he got for me. And but yeah, so I learned from him. So if there's a specialty tool that you're going to use once, basically you're probably going to use it again, is his thing, and then it'll save you time and money and whatever. So I do have a lot of tools, but I don't always do that. Sometimes, like, I have a neighbor that's a car guy, and if I need a car tool, between the two of us we share. Like, I've kind of, but for guitar stuff, yeah, I buy stuff. I love tools. So, all right. So what I do is I mark it off, and then I use. You can just use a whatever, like a triangle file. You don't have to, I'm using fret files. Maybe that's why mine are getting dull. But you can just use. What I'm doing here is I'm just proving, guys, that I need a caddy, a tool caddy. That's what I'm doing. I'm just proving to myself that's what I need. I don't know if I have a diamond in this stuff, in this set. That's kind of, not quite though. Anyway, I'm just gonna use my fret files. I got some on order anyway, so I'm just gonna use which one do I want to use? Let's just go to, what do the strings go to? 24? So I'll use the 26. So anyway, I just line it up. Are you watching me? So I just line it up with the thing, and you got to go slow because the fret. This is very slippery stuff, and you're see, I did it. I'm gonna use the finer one. This will work better. I'm gonna use a 60. There we go, that's better. You just go slow, and you don't want to do 2 cuts. Sometimes I've done it where you actually put 2, like you start one and then you start another one. That's bad. Don't do that. So what this does is it basically brings the action down a little bit because this is a jumbo fret, but also, and you can use it to set the action lower if you want. Like, you can actually dig right in and get it quite low. But what it does is it holds the strings in place, so if you're bending the strings, it doesn't pop out. And I've had it where I didn't do them deep enough, or maybe I'm also going to put a holder down here. I could do that right now as well. Jeez, look at all this fun stuff. Okay, I'm going to do that. So I have these little, that's not it. I call them all these weird names. I label all my little drawers with stuff. These are called screw eyes. Screwy eyes. So I'm just gonna check. Hopefully this is the right size drill. So I'm gonna put one basically like halfway between this post and the nut. I'm gonna put one, and I'm actually gonna put two, and right in between the strings, and then I'm gonna use a nail to hold the string down, the strings down. So let me just see what we got going here. I always like to use my little pokey to start this. Pokey. That's the technical term for this tool. It's a pokey. And then right there. Okay. Hopefully I did it. Got it right. Just a second. My little puppy's making noise here. Come here. Look at you upstairs. Come here. This is my shop dog. This is Yogi. He's a sweetheart. Also known as Snaggletooth because he only has one tooth left. He's an old dog, and apparently these dogs are not, their teeth are not really strong. Alright. Okay, so I'm going to drill this. Okay. Now these are the ones I broke off before. These little crappy, they're called screw eyes is what I call them. I don't know what they're called. Anyway, I don't know. That's what they look like here. You see that? So I put a little bit of wax on there. Hopefully we won't snap one. Yeah, it was a pain. I snapped one in here. Hi, Yogs. He's up my leg, but he's not a freak like Dell's dog, if you know what I mean. Hey, what do you want? He just wants me to hold him. He's funny. He's not humping me. He's just like, Daddy, pick me up. Oh, okay. That means he's talking to me. He's like, Dad, I have to go pee. So I'm going to go take the dog out for a bit. I'm just going to pause this, and I'll be right back. Doo-doo. Yeah, so I ended up feeding the dogs, making my son his coffee every morning, as a good father should. Make a nice fresh brew for his boy, and then I'm like, I think I need another one. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that, Grandma! I'm going to do a video on how to make a perfect coffee, too. I think that'll be a nice little addition to my channel. Just want them to be kind of level. Jeez. There we go. There we go. Get the wax out of there again. Okay. So, we've got the hold downs installed. I'm going to have to go find a nail. I have, my dad also used to save nails and screws and bolts and all that stuff. And when I moved out, he gave me a care package of those things because he had so many. And I still use them today. And my wife makes fun of me because I have all this junk. But it's been great. Not never, but a lot of times I don't have to go to the fastener store, Menards or whatever you guys call it over there. Anyway, yeah. So I did buy these. Those I did buy. Those I didn't have. But anyways, that's that. What else do I gotta do? Oh, I gotta put the corners. I'm gonna put these corners on here. So I gotta. Oops. The problem is they have like little holes in the. Oops, where am I? Like right here. There's like little holes on the sides, but on a lot of boxes, that hole ends up being right in like just under the lid, and then it breaks free. Like on my first guitar that I made, it did that. So I just drill a hole right there, and then it goes right into the post of this, like in the corner. I mean, it goes right into that, and it's good and solid. So I don't know. I put the jack in. Did I show you guys that? I don't remember. Anyway, this box is ready to bolt up. Again, I still need to do the end piece and what else? The bridge. I got to do the bridge still. So I'm going to do those things, and yeah, I will pause the video for now until I get organized. All right. Okay, I just bolted the neck in for a sec. I decided to go with the this is my tailpiece, aka Michael of Southern Fire Guitars. That's the first time I saw this method used. A lot of times I'll use the hinge method, aka Dell Puckett, but I really like this one. And the only problem is if the boxwood isn't quite thick enough, you're going to want to put a little support inside here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to straighten this thing out. Like so, I put it on I got like a little flat spot on my vise here, and I'm going to hit it with a hammer and just knock. Actually, I don't have to do that. There's like a little tab here, and it is going to go on that way. So I could just leave the tab, but I'm not going to. I'm going to flatten this tab, and then also just make sure it's flat because it's got like a little dent. These are repurposed or recycled or whatever. And then the two screws that mount it, these two screws, are actually wider than the neck is. So I could either put like little extensions on the neck and to screw into, or I could do extensions on the body to screw into. So, I think I'm gonna do it to the. Maybe I'm gonna do it to the neck. I'm gonna make it a little wider put it on the neck. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. I was gonna think about gluing some blocks here, but I'm just gonna glue just some little extenders, just some little wings onto the end of the neck to give something for those screws, and it'll hold the neck even better. Actually, I don't know. Okay, so let me just I'll do that. Actually, you guys can watch me. Oh, so much fun. Flatten. There's this out. All right, I'm gonna glue some little tabs onto the little wings onto the side of the neck there, and great. And then I'm gonna basically mount that here. Put 3 holes for the strings to go through, and that's why I like it a little bit better than the hinge. With the hinge method, you got to use like a little like a nail to hold the strings. With this one, you just put just small, like this size. Holes in it, and then the ball ends of the strings hold the strings, and it's just easier to do a string change, and you can do one at a time if you want, and all that stuff. So that's why I like this one, and these are free. Get them free. Okay, so that's that. I am going to pause the video. I'm going to make some little blocks here and glue them to the sides of the neck. Then we're going to do that, and I also have to make the bridge. I'm going to make the bridge. Alright, so I'm going to pause it right here. I shouldn't even tell you guys I'm pausing it, because that makes it like, anyway, You'll know when it cuts in and out. Um, okay, time to make a bridge. So I just keep a box of cut off pieces of oak and maple, usually oak or maple, from when I'm making necks and stuff. I just keep the scraps, and then I make a this little bridge. I don't know if it's Del Puckett style. I don't know if he's the one that. Anyways, this is the way I made from the very beginning. Was I make these floating bridges, and I use a little fret on the top here. As far as size goes, I think it's like 2 inches roughly. Yeah, so the base is like 2 inches, and then I do just a little angle, so it's a bit narrower at the top, and that's over 1.5 inches, a bit by 1.5 inches maybe. I don't think it really matters as long as it's at least an 1.5 inches wide, because that's what the fretboards are. Yeah, so I just keep a nice little box of that stuff lying around so I can make some. And then what I do is I use my fret cutting slaw with the depth thing on there set. I just have it so that the basically it's at the base of the teeth. That's how deep I go with this thing. If you can see it. Can you see that? That's how deep I go. Anyways, and then so what I do is I try to cut it in the center here of this. I almost always screw up though. Like I always, for some reason, get off center. And I'm gonna mark it with my eye just to see if this helps, because that looks centery. Yeah, it always, I don't know. When I go to cut it, I always think that it's always like cockeyed. It doesn't honestly really matter, but I don't have OCD. I really don't. But there's certain things that bug me, and that's one of them. When things are not straight, square, whatever you call it. Okay, so I put that in my vise. Oh, you can't see that. Shoot. Do you need to see that? All right, just a sec. Pause. Okay. Is it going? Yeah, it's going. Okay. So I'm over here at my my trusty vise. I got the bridge in there, and I'm gonna take my fret saw now and hopefully get the fret in the middle. Let's see if I can how I can do here. How well I do. Let's get her started. Jeez Louise, this is tough. Okay. There we go. Oh, and look at that. Not quite perfect, but close enough. Oops. Close enough. So I got a fret slot in the top, and then I need some fret wire, which I usually have just lying around here, but of course not today, not right now. Usually have some. All right, fine. I'll cut one just for this. Usually I have some scraps. It doesn't matter what size you use for the for this. I'm going to use the longer, my 4-string, because it is a little bit, the top of that thing's a little bit wider. It's my trusty little fret cutter bench. Debuted in my last one, so I'm just going to that off. Should I nip it? I will nip it. Use my nice fork. fret nipper. Ah! Sorry guys, you just went for a little spill there. My camera holder is not. How's that? Oops. Just gonna nip the ends just in case I crushed the tang. There we go. And then I'll put on the, I'll just hammer this in here. Actually, should I shape it first? No, I'll put it in. It's over here. Tap that in. Not as important as the as frets going in, so that's fine. Now what I'm going to do is take this over onto my my belt sander over here, and I'm gonna shape it up nice, round off some of the edges and stuff, and get the fret end a little nicer because it's sharp right now, and just do that. I'm not gonna show you guys me doing that, so I'll just pause it and I'll come back. Where? There you go. So now you don't know because that was time lapsed, I guess, not time lapsed, but I paused it. You didn't see that, but it takes about a minute maybe to get it to look like that with my belt sander. So fairly quick to do. I don't get all crazy. Just round. I basically make it nice and. Oops. See, like that. That's the shape. Now what's going to happen is it is going to be too high when I get this on the guitar. So what I'll do is I'll just take some off the bottom with my bandsaw, and then I'll fine sand it so it's nice and flat or whatever. But anyway, that's what the bridges look like. And then usually stain with some kind of dark stain. So I'll put what's this stuff? Dark walnut. Look at that. This looks like it's crying to be dark walnut. Which is also what I put on the neck, so probably a good choice. I picked up this is from where'd I get it? Princess Auto, kind of like Harbor Freight. It's just a whole bunch of different sized what are these things called? Q-tip types things. Now they only have one end on them, but they're great for putting stain on. So I'm going to use this. Should keep some of the old ones around because I don't really need to use a new one all the time, I guess. I'm going to stain this puppy up. Woo, look at that. It's amazing how rich and luxurious the stain makes it. It's not going to be this dark. I'm gonna wipe it off once I'm done. Of course, I'm getting it all over my fingers because I didn't put my gloves on. But all right, here. Oh, I missed a little bit on the top here. There we go. Bridge is just about ready. Again, you can do. You can put a little, if you want, you can put a little slot in here just to guide the strings a little bit better, so they don't slide around. I might do that. later. See, now I got a bunch of this. I'm wasting all this delicious stain here. All right, there we go. Okay, so I have the bridge is made. This thing, I flattened it out. Flatten that little knob. I guess you don't, like I said, you don't have to do it, but it sticks out. It'll stick out the back of the guitar and maybe catch on you or whatever. I don't know. So I did that. Sometimes I clean them up. This one I'm just gonna leave. I popped 3 holes in it. I measured twice and cut once, and I still didn't get them quite right, but that doesn't matter because it's a cigar box guitar. It's a custom made instrument, and there's meant to be imperfections. All right, so that's that. All right, I got to do the corners and put it all together. Oh, I got to solder. Jeez, I got to solder the pickup in and all that. So we're getting close. This is we're getting near the end of the game here. So, all right. Okay, I am going to show you what I do for how to solder. What I do is this little spongy guy here, this sponge, I put some water in there first so I can clean the tip. You always need to keep your tip clean. That is number one. So I'm going to clean that. I'm going to let her heat up first. And where is my flux? My flux capacitor. There it is. Okay. So here's the flux. This is an old tin of, it's actually shoe polish that dried up. I took it out and put solder paste in there. It's getting gross. I should get some new stuff. Anyway, if you go to my website, stringsattached.ca, you will find a excellent how to solder guitar electronics video. I did not, it's not me, it's somebody else, and I saw it on the interwebs and I thought, that is good. That is a good one. I can't remember the guy's name now, but anyways, it's an excellent how-to video on how to solder properly, because a lot of people don't, and a lot of people don't know how to put their tools away, and when they go to do a video and they can't find their tools, it's, I don't want to say embarrassing, but it's not cool. So that's what's going on right now. So I'm just gonna proper tool for the proper job. I mean, this is not the right tool for the right job, but I'm just gonna cut these wires like this. All right, so I got this little wire stripper here a friend bought for me. I have my dad's original. It's green. It's out in the garage. I like to use that one if I can, but anyways, it's a nice little easy way to strip wires. Just gonna strip these puppies here just a little bit. There we go. And here. Speaking of tools, I do a lot of soldering, and I had an old Weller, but it was just, I got caught. I've left it on sometimes and I forget. So, my wife bought me a fancy dancy Weller soldering station. It tells you what temperature it is. It auto shuts down. It's it's nice. It comes with this little base here. The unit's over there. I'm not gonna show you it right now. But anyway, I do a lot of soldering. So one of the things you got to do is make sure you keep your tip clean. So I got it. It's all heated up here. So I'll bring it closer. There we go. Oops. Keep the puppy clean. You always tin your tip. So I take a little bit of solder. Put on there. You always tin everything you're about to solder. So what I do is I put flux, a little flux on there. Not sure what it does. It just helps get the metal ready so the solder sticks nice. So there's 2 tabs on here on your jack. One is ground and one is positive. So the one going to the tip, this thing here, is positive, and you got to look inside and figure out which one it is. Now this one here, that is, you can obviously see that it's connected to the shaft or the center, so that is actually the ground. That's this one here, and then this one's the positive. Guess which one is the negative and which one is the positive out of these 2 wires coming off the piezo? Just guess, okay? Anyways, if you mess it up, apparently it makes a big difference. I haven't messed it up yet, but so you put the black on the ground, or the earth, as the English say, yeah, which is this one here. So I'll do that one first. So you pre-tin whatever you're about to solder. So I'm gonna pre-tin the lugs. There we go. Probably should have a fan here blowing this away. There was a big push to use lead-free solder, and I tried it. I listened to those wokesters, and but it sucks. I don't know if you've ever tried it, but it's not fun to solder with. So I've decided I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it the old-fashioned way with lead. Now that I've got everything pre-tinned, you just got to make sure, measure twice, cut once kind of thing. So you're just gonna make sure you're doing the right one. So this one is the negative, so I'll do that one first. Basically, I'm gonna heat up the post again and get the solder loose, and then I'm just gonna stick the wire through that hole. Get my eyeballs on here. I can see what's going on. There you go. You just want to hold it steady so you don't get it's called a cold solder joint, where it gets all fuzzy. Same thing here. Come on. There you go. There we go. Actually, I didn't even put them through the holes. I just laid them on top. They're not going anywhere. There's no movement here. Okay. All right. Those are soldered in. Normally I have to shut this thing off, but that will auto shut off. I will shut it off. It does keep it, actually, you can program it to do whatever you want. Keep it at certain temperatures and stuff for certain periods of time, but I'm not doing that. Okay, you guys get out of the way. Okay, so that's wired up. That is all you have to do. You can put a volume knob, a volume pot in between if you want, but I don't like on these ones. On the cheaper ones, I don't like the standard ones. I don't. I just wire them straight. That's what my number one is. Here's number one. That's the first one I built right there. So there's no volume pot. It's got just a jack. See this is the same type of bridge. These little guys I designed and 3D printed. Those are actually plastic, and I sprayed them gold. And I got made fun of by my brother for doing that, because you're supposed to only use recycled stuff on these. But it was plastic that was going bad, and I wasn't going to be able to use it for anything else. How's that? No. Anyways, I screwed up the holes. They were cockeyed. I, again, measured twice, cut once, and I still messed it up. And then when I glued these on, they're still a little cockeyed, but you just can't. It's not as noticeable. So anyway, so that's number one. And I love that guitar. So it's pretty cool. My first instrument is not just playable, but like fun to play. Okay, so I put the two wings on here so we can screw into here. I'm gonna make sure this is centered, and then I'll mount it. After that, top goes on, corners on, string her up, and ready to go. So I'm gonna go do a little bit here, and I'll get back in a second. Okay, we're getting to the exciting part. I have the corners on. I have the tailpiece on. The bridge is made. The neck is bolted on. It's basically ready to go. I did, before I buttoned it up, I tested the piezo with a little amplifier just to make sure it was making some sound. Hopefully the volume will be fine. Sometimes I find I have to redo the hot glue twice. Basically, it kind of, when it cools, it kind of sinks, and then there's like an air pocket in between the piezo and the bridge, and so the volume isn't quite as good. So hopefully it'll be fine. It looked fairly flat, this one, so yeah, just a little thing I found. If you ever put a piezo in and the output really sucks, try that. Just re-hot glue it again, like and re-put the top down. Sometimes I think I might push the top down too hard, and then it makes it dev-it. I don't know. It might just be the way hot glue is. I don't know. So a few times I've had to put a little dab of hot glue on, put a card on it or a piece of paper again, and it makes a big difference. It's not always the piezo's fault. So okay, so I buy my strings all over the place, but I've been getting them bulk at CB Giddy, and you can buy them like this. I don't know how many there's in a pack, 12 or something like that, and you can buy them one string at a time, so you can pick your gauges, right? So I got 44, 34, and 26 are the gauges that I've been using, and I don't know. I'm kind of a string snob, but these I like. I don't know. Like, I usually use DRs for my electrics, and I do not like D'Addarios. I don't know why. I just don't. But, okay. Before I string it up, the other thing I do is I check to see what the action is going to be like with a straight edge. So I just lay it on the nut and on the bridge here, and it is way too high. I knew it would be. So I'm gonna. It's about 1/4 of an inch. So I'm gonna take off a fair amount off the bottom. I'm just gonna go do that now, and I'm just gonna basically run it through the bandsaw, cut, whatever, not between 1/4 and 1/8 off, and sand it, and then I'll try it again. I'm not gonna let you guys don't need to watch me do that, okay? But that's what I'm doing. All right, that's better. Okay, so with this tailpiece, I like it better than, like I was telling you, than the hinge. The hinge looks cool, for sure, but I like this a lot better. I do a see how easy it is to put the strings in. It is easy as long as you make the holes big enough. So I did not in this case. I got to drill it out a little bit more. So there's the windings on here are too fat on the E string, so I'm just gonna drill that out just a sec. There we go. That's better. All right. So where's my little neck holder thingy? Friend of mine, Al, that I used to build, Al Gilbert. I used to build guitars with. He made that for me. It's a little neck holder. Keeps it up off the bench. I've used that for 20 years now. I think. Wait a sec. I think he wrote when he made it on here. Thought he did. 2005. There you go. 20 years. 20 years. So that, I guess that kind of tells you when I started building guitars. It was 20 years ago. I started repairing guitars long before that, but building guitars. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I have this, the way I figure out how much string to do is let's do this. I basically, I put the string through here perpendicular, and then I call it the 4-finger rule. So I just have my 4 fingers, they're not spread out or anything, they're just kind of there. And if you have tiny hands, that's your problem. But anyways, around the 3rd fret or so, just lifting it up. And then what I do is I crank it, both strings, so they got like a 90-degree a Z bend in it right there. And you may notice the string is on the outside here on this peg head. The reason why is because you want as straight a string pull as you can off the fret. So this one I do on the outside, this one I do on the inside to go to the middle, and then this one over here is on the outside. So that's how I do my strings. I also have a cool little string winder thing. I don't know where I got this from, but this is just a Black & Decker, cordless screwdriver-y thing. And it's opposite right now because it's going the wrong way. So I just wrote on it tight and loose on the buttons, so I know which button to press. But when the thing's wrapped around the wrong way, it's the opposite. So, oops. Okay, just a second. Put the bridge in there. I don't know what I did with my nipper side cutters, so I'm going to just use these. Just a second, I'll close the door. We have loud talkers in this family, and they just came home, so I had to close the door. Alright. Okay. So, that was the 44. I need the 34 now. Oops. I guess I should have got these out beforehand. That would have been smart. But I'm not smart. I'm done. I didn't really figure out where that bridge should go. I mean, I figured it out when I built it, where it should go, but I didn't mark it on top of the box, so I'll figure that out. Okay, so 4 fingers. This one is going on, oops, let's do this, from this side so that it gets, it's not perfectly straight, but a straighter string pull to the center. This one I hit tight because this is going the right way. It seems weird when you go to tune these things, because one of the tuners you got to tune it one way to tighten it, and the other one you got to tune it the other way. But you get used to it. You really do. Not a big deal. I need to put the hold down on because it's slipping out from my little slot. Once I get the hold down in, it'll be fine. I'm just going to use this drill for now. Come on. A little thicker. You can use anything basically, but I usually use a nail. Could use a screw, I guess. Whatever you got lying around for the hold down. And then here's the 26. So 44, 34, 26. And I ordered these from CB Giddy. It's a lot cheaper. We have a music store here near my house called Long and McQuaid, and they're great. But to buy like separate strings, they have like these, string packs or whatever, but it's only one string. And I got them from them, but then it ended up being like $7 for a set of, you know, I don't know, crappy strings. I just think they should be cheaper than that. All right. Again, this one's going to be on the outside. I'll put it under there. Again, just so it has a straighter string pull. This one's going to be opposite because it's going the wrong way. So yeah, on these three string guitars, if you do them with these headstocks, and you want to have a straight string pull, you got to do two of the tuners kind of backwards from a regular guitar. Alright. Gotta find my tuner. Shoot. I'll be back in a sec. So it's G. D. Okay. Another thing I like to do is just stretch my strings a bit, like pull on them. Not too crazy, but kind of stretch them a little bit out. There you go. First tune on this baby ever. So the action is a little bit high, but that might be good for some slide action. But I'm not very good at slide, as you can see. Anyways, I'm not good at slide. I'd like to learn. So this would be good for slide. But I'm going to lower it a little bit more because I don't know. Let's try a different amp. A little bit of chorus. A little bit more reverb. Let's see how we do. Macanudo. So yeah, there we go. Home Depot fretboard, piezo pickup. That is where the tone comes from, right there. My little 45 record adapter. that is it. Anyways, over and out. I will replace that with a nail. That. And I'm going to change the action a little bit. I'm going to lower it and make sure it's intonated. I don't know if you guys know how to intonate. I can show you. Basically, you tune it to open, whatever the open string is. This tuner is not the best to use. It's too jumpy. And then you fret it at the 12th fret. And if it's also a G, it's good. If it's flat, you have to move the bridge forward. So if the fretted note is flat, you move it forward. It's my 3Fs rule. If it's sharp, you move it back. But you don't have to remember that. You just have to remember the 3Fs. Anywho, that is all. That is over and out. And have a good one. I don't know when I'm going to deliver this, but sometime soon. I hope they're happy with it. Anyways, thanks again. Bye.